One look around Uptown and you'll see them. Cranes, turning and twisting in every direction. Heavy loads going up, giant elevators coming down. New buildings popping up all over the place. With all that development comes construction workers. So where are many of the people working on Charlotte's newest buildings heading? To Charlotte's oldest restaurant, Green's Lunch.
Green's have the best hot dogs in town.
Well, it hadn't changed much.
I mean, this is like the place to come.
Simple, good, and cheap.
While Uptown has undergone plenty of changes over the last 20 years, inside Green's, it's as if time stood still, and that's just how customers like it.
When I think back to 12, 15 years ago, Charlotte is barely recognizable now in a lot of ways uptown, but this place is still the same.
Located on West 4th Street, just 2 blocks off Tryon, Green's has been serving their trademark hot dogs for 90 years.
And there's been a lot of changes around this area too, with the parking lots being converted into a baseball park and buildings, but I'm not surprised it's still here.
In a day and age when restaurants come and go, leave it to simplicity to stand the test of time. Just take a look at Green's menu. Serving breakfast and lunch only, prices are so inexpensive they look like something from 40 years ago. Omelets starting at $3.95, $1.95 for a hot dog, $3 for a burger, and French fries for $1.60.
It's reasonable in my budget.
We try our best. You know, we try our best to keep it as low as possible because, you know, we want to help the middle class, you know. I mean, we could do $3 a hot dog, but, you know, yeah, I don't think it's right.
Not only have prices remained relatively low, the consistency of the food hasn't changed, if ever. The homemade chili recipe used on Green's hot dogs goes back to 1941.
It's got a little spice to it, but not too hot.
Yeah, just have a good flavor to it and makes you want to come back and get more.
And the dogs themselves, they've always been the same since those early days in the 1920s.
It's a special blend that we have made for us.
Green's top seller is the classic Carolina dog, complete with chili, coleslaw, onions, and mustard.
The good old steamed bun, boiled hot dog, any way you want it, hamburger cooked on a flat top. I mean, it's not trying to be anything different.
The restaurant first opened in 1925. A year later, Robert Green bought out his partner and renamed it Green's Lunch. It survived through the Great Depression and segregation. The original building had 2 doors, one for whites, the other for blacks.
You had to step down from the sidewalk to come in. There was no heat or anything, so all the water in the wintertime when it rained would come in.
Robert Green owned the restaurant for 15 years until he died in 1941. His daughter Mary Green then took over. The only thing she added to the menu was the chili.
And she sold it to my father in the 70s.
In 1981, the original Green's was torn down, and the current building was built in its place. Joanna's dad added coleslaw to the menu. He owned it until 1989.
And then I got it.
Since then, it's been under the ownership of Joanna and Peter Sikiotis. In its 90-year history, just 2 families have owned it.
It's nice. You know, it makes me feel good. I'm proud of it.
These days, Joanna runs the kitchen. Peter handles drinks and the register. The only thing they've added to the menu is French fries. Over the years, they've had about 15 buyout offers.
I told them they don't have enough zeros.
Joanna and Peter have no desire to sell their business because they simply enjoy what they do.
I don't know what I'd do with myself. Seriously, I don't know what I would do with myself if I sold it.
Joanna wants to keep working as long as she's able.
And eventually, hopefully, someday I'll pass it down to my son.
One of the main reasons for not wanting to sell is the relationships they've built over the years with customers, many of whom have been coming in for years.
I've come here for about 22 years.
Some customers have been coming in for decades. Take Carrie Howley, for example. Working uptown, she's been a regular at Green's for 30 years. That's a third of their 90-year existence.
Their food is good, the people are good, I know them by name.
Most of our customers, we know them, they're regulars, you know.
Green's just might be the ultimate mom and pop shop, a husband and wife tandem as owners and operators.
I hope it stays another 100.
Perhaps the sign in the middle of Green's menu says it best. If you are not satisfied, please tell us. If you are satisfied, please tell your friends. Apparently many people have been doing just that over the last 90 years. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jason Terzis reporting.
Thanks so much, Jason. Green's Lunch is located at 309 West 4th Street in Charlotte. You can find a link to their website posted along with this story on the Carolina Impact page at pbscharlotte.org. What's your hobby? Gardening, fishing, biking, hiking? With the cool, crisp days of fall, it's nice to get some fresh air and take a break from the daily grind. one Huntersville man found peace through an unusual pastime and turned his love for creating into a career. Carolina Impact's Danielle Koser has the story.
Bubbles,